Fierce ladies, welcome to the Moms in Real Estate podcast, where we unleash our unapologetic power to share the raw truth of our journeys. Brace yourself for a dose of empowerment, education, and encouragement like never before. I'm Kristen, a relentless entrepreneur obsessed with connecting and uplifting fellow boss babes. In this podcast, we're all about getting down to business, conquering motherhood, nurturing relationships, and so much more. Get ready to dive into the nitty-gritty, embrace the hustle, and unravel the secrets of success in the world of real estate. We're here to ignite your fire, equip you with the knowledge, and unleash your limitless potential. Tune in as we redefine what it means to be a true boss babe. Welcome everyone to the Moms in Real Estate podcast. Today we have the incredible Jasmine Patel with us, a devoted mother to two beautiful babies who hold her heart entirely. Jasmine is not only a 7-year realtor, but also holds an impressive 10-year background in commercial development and property management. Join us as we dive into her journey of achieving her own real estate goals and also embracing slowing down after giving birth to her twins. Get ready to be inspired by Jasmine's dedication and passion for both her family and her thriving real estate career. Hey girl, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm so happy to have you on the podcast today. How are you feeling?
Trying to stay cold.
As
much as possible.
Yeah, so you guys, we're in Arizona in studio and it's like 150 degrees outside. Like
pretty much.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's 122 in my car yesterday. That's like really hard.
Yeah.
Really hardcore. So if you're listening and you're not in Arizona, like good for you.
I tell everybody after I get off of a phone call, whether it's doctors or clients or anybody, I'm like, stay hydrated.
Yeah, that's like your new tagline.
That's like my new tagline.
Yeah, I love that. All right, so you have been in real estate for a while now, 7 years. You have two twins, 8-month-old babies. They're still babies.
Yes.
Tell us, like, what got you into real estate?
So I have a family history of real estate and development, property management, and then when I was in college, I took the whole pre-med route because, you know, I'm a daughter of an immigrant, and daughters of immigrants become doctors or marry doctors. And I did schooling for that. I have a master's in biomedical sciences.
Wow.
And after that, I went to a job in quality control at a pharmaceutical company in New Jersey where I lived. Because I was burnt out by then. I'm like, we're not doing med school. This is like mentally, we're not there.
Yeah.
We're not doing it. And then I met my husband online and we got married. I moved here 2 days after I got married. And
was it on Facebook?
No, we had a website. It was like a matrimony website for our temple.
Okay. And
you know, our values were the same, like our deep values, which is our religion and our spirituality. So that's were the basis of the relationship that we each wanted, and that's why we were on the website to begin with.
Okay.
And so I moved here, and I'm like, what do I do here? Because there's not a lot of pharmaceutical companies in Arizona. And I got a job at a nutraceutical company. I was a director of quality control there for a couple of years. And then I'm like, no, we need to not work for other people anymore.
Yeah, we need to not.
Yes. So my husband was in corporate. He was some long IT title at Liberty Mutual. And he was looking for a business, and I was looking for a business, and we came across, I'm like, well, let me get my real estate license because I loved our home buying process. I love the agent that helped us buy our home. She did a phenomenal job.
Do a shout out to her.
Parole Taylor.
Yes.
She's amazing. And she's like family, basically.
Yeah.
And she changed my opinion about real estate because, you know, when you're growing up in it and you see your parents doing things in a certain way, you're kind of like, oh, I don't want to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like there's you know, constantly moving parts and things going on. And I was like, I don't see myself doing this ever. Yeah. I don't see myself being a business owner ever because as a kid, you're like, your parents are always busy and they're not there for you. And then our agent in New Jersey that my dad was friends with and loved to use, I wasn't a fan of his table manners. Okay. Let's just say, like, right? Like his bedside manners if you're a doctor or whatever. So I had a bad taste for real estate before getting into it.
You associated being a real estate agent with him.
Yes. Yeah. And then so when we bought our home and Parul changed our entire my entire mindset of like being an agent, and I'm like, wow, I would love to do this. Yeah. I love, showing I love showing homes to buyers. I love listing homes, doing the staging portion, and just you have aspects of, you get to be your own boss. Yeah. You get to set your own schedule, and I love the marketing aspect of it because I've done marketing forever, as far as like my parents and businesses and stuff goes. Like back in the day, I used to be the one that would set up their websites and stuff like that. Like way back when we had like dial-up internet.
Yeah, if anyone isn't in real estate, you have to understand when you get into real estate, like you have to know how to market. Yes. And it's like one of the most important parts of any business owner. It's so important. I actually I love that you brought up like you watched your parents and you didn't like what they were doing or how they were doing it. And I do feel like there's so many moms that come on this show and their kids are like, I don't ever want to get into real estate. So whenever I have somebody on that like their parents were real estate agents and then they became real estate agents, it's always like a surprise to me because of how many say they don't want to do that. Yeah. And real estate is not a one size fits all, and it can look so many different ways. And I think that you just kind of described a perfect example of that. Mm-hmm.
So they were in the development and property management side. Yeah. And our family does own properties. However, I'm not in the management side of it. Yeah. So I'm more on the, buy, sell, list side. Eventually, I want to get into commercial real estate because that's what our family does a lot of. Yeah. My husband does a lot of business flipping, let's just call it that, because he'll buy like a business that's not doing very well and then, change it cosmetically, change how they're doing business and increase the revenue and then sell it in a couple of years. So
I find that to be so cool. Like so cool. I want to do that. Yeah. He should mentor me.
Oh. I tell him, I'm like, you should just be a business consultant at this point because you'd be so good at it.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely a great skill. Yeah. I want to go back to what you said a little bit ago, right? You're like, you felt like the path for you was already predetermined. You needed to be a doctor. Yes. And I feel like, when we have these core beliefs of what we're supposed to do, how did you break out of that core belief? And then also like, what did it feel like when you got into real estate with like feeling like, okay, I'm supposed to do this. I went to school for this. And then knowing like, okay, I didn't like this other agent. Like this is now my new career. Was that hard for you?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it kind of makes you feel like you're like letting yourself down, you're letting down the people around you. But I recently had the same conversation with somebody I know, and they went to school for, I think it was law, and now they're, I'm like, just do something else. Mm-hmm. Like you have, and it's crazy because in our, I guess in our age group that we're in, it's very easy to pivot. And even like the folks younger than us, I'm a older millennial. Yeah. But even the Gen Z, I guess, they change jobs like every 6 months. Yeah. And to us, that's like blasphemy. Like, oh my gosh, what? You changed your job every 6 months? But we need to take kind of a page out of their notebook and look at it as like, you can pivot. You can like reimagine your entire life. And it's just a matter of mindset.
Hi, it's Barbara with your tax coach. And we love helping entrepreneurs save money on their taxes. Here's a quick tax tip. Improvements to your property, whether it's your personal residence or an investment property, helps increase what's called your basis. And it will help you pay less in taxes when you sell the property. So don't forget to always improve your properties. For more info, follow us on Instagram at Your Tax Coach or go to our website, yourtaxcoach.com.
It's so true. I actually somehow, I don't know where I got this from, but I told myself, like, you will try as many things as you want until you figure out what you want to do. And I gave myself 10 years to do that. Literally. I was like, before I turned 30. And so I pivoted a ton. I would be like, I started a vending machine company. I ran it for 2 years. I had a 68 machine route. And I was like, okay, I'm done with this. Like, I don't like it anymore. Sold that business. And then I went and got my health insurance license. Gosh, that was such a small moment. And it was the most horrific career path I could have I hated that one. But I just like, there was so many different things I tried. And the minute I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to be working for a long time. Like, I need to like what I do. And somehow I fell into real estate. Honestly, like, I think about that all the time. I didn't plan it. It just like kind of happened. And I was like, okay, I love this. But I think that you're so right with, we should take a page out of their book and be like, it's okay to like pivot and redefine ourselves and rebuild. And I think that, you know, I just watched a girl who's 50 do this, and she was talking about it. And I'm like, it's never too late. We're, you know, 50, you still have 15 years technically if you're going to be working till you're 65. So I love that you brought that up.
Yeah. I mean, it was like a viral post that went couple weeks ago. It was a woman who was had just finished med school at 42 and has 9 kids.
Wow.
And I'm like, amazing.
Yeah.
That's just amazing. That
just having 9 kids is amazing. Like, can you imagine?
I don't want to. I have twins. I'm good right now. We're good.
Yes. Wait, tell us. So, okay, you had your real estate business established, and then you had twins.
Yes.
What did that look like?
Totally different, because now the twins are my priority. And our family is very lucky to be in a situation where I can step away from work and we're okay financially. So my husband is, you know, the one that's bringing in the bacon or whatever you want to call it. And I'm at home with the kids right now. Did I start looking for a nanny? Absolutely, because I'm done being a mom full time.
Yeah.
And I mean, that never goes away, right? There's always going to be like, your nanny's going to constantly be texting you.
You're still a mom full time.
You're still a mom full time.
You're just able to.
Yeah, I'm ready to step away more than just a couple hours a week, which is where I'm at right now. Like, we drop the kids off on Mondays, usually to my in-laws' house, and they get time with their grandparents, and I get a day to do anything around the house, like laundry, cleaning, taking a nap, and anything I need to do for my business as well. So like usually it's marketing things right now, and anything that's like staying on top of market trends is what I am just focused on, and touching base with my sphere.
Yeah. Was that hard to basically like push pause on your business? I think that there's probably so many women out there that are like, that would be really hard for them.
It was. My kids were in the NICU. I had an emergency C-section November 18th, and I was already talking to a client before that about listing their home, and I wasn't supposed to go have my kids, and I had my kids, and then I was in the hospital for 5 days. I came home, my babies were still in the NICU, and they were like, hey, we're ready to list our home like today. I was like, oh, okay. So I just had to like put on an outfit. I threw on like, I don't even know, like a maternity outfit, because I'm still like bloated and swollen and everything. Went to go list their home, and I actually tagged in another agent that I know. I think we're mutual friends, Lorena. And I tagged her in. I'm like, hey, you're going to need to do a lot of this. I'm not going to be able to do much except help you list it.
Yeah. I think that's so important. And it's something that I'm always shocked that I still see is there's so many agents that are doing it by themselves and don't have those people to call. Yeah. And it's like, that's such an essential part of your business, because there's so many different seasons where when you need to tap out, you need to have those people to call in. Yeah. Because you don't want to miss out on the listing. It's still a great lead for somebody. Yeah. And you should still be able to get paid on that. So I think that's so like important to note, is you should definitely have those people you can call. Yeah. Even if you don't want to. So many people will be like, I don't want to give a portion away of, this commission. But at the same time, like, that's not where your time was best spent right then.
Yeah. It's the time spent. And so I think what I've learned is sometimes you gotta put the hustle aside and focus on what's important. And for me right now, it's my family.
Yeah.
And when I was in the hustle, I would go from like 9 a.m. all the way till 2 a.m. sometimes at my desk, or like out showings. And I think there was a day I did like 25 showings and it was a summer day in Arizona. And so would I love to go back to doing long days like that of working? Yeah, because that's like in my DNA though, right? Like it's in my DNA to like do it.
You like to work.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm probably never going to do that again because my kids will always have a portion of my day now.
You're still doing it, but now I mean, that's the thing. Like sometimes I'm like, okay, I get up at 5 a.m. and I'm, not even relaxing until 9 at night. And it's because we have these businesses we're running. We have drop off, pickup, all the things in between, sports. And so it's just definitely, you're still hustling 1,000%. You're just like hustling in different areas.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many moving parts. It's insane.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to somebody who has a business that has babies and is struggling with letting go of that control?
Control on their business or control of the kids?
Control their business.
So...
then the question will flop for what you're doing right now that they're 8 months old.
Yeah. So as far as control of the business, pull in help. So if we're a real estate moms podcast, you need to pull in another person, like either is your spouse an agent? Pull them in, right? If not, have them get their license maybe so that they can help you out. If you don't want to risk that commission loss, that's a great plan of like, hey, one of you is going to be with the kids and family, and one of you is going to go out and do this. And if that's not an option, your spouse, my husband doesn't want to do it. Be a real estate agent, right? And that's not an option for me. So pull in somebody from your brokerage or a friend that can help you out with anything as far as like listings or buyers go. Yeah. Because you're not going to have the time to go show on like instant notices and stuff too with buyers. Yeah. So
what about now that the twins are 8 months old and you're ready to find that nanny and get back to work? Like, I know that's so hard for all of us suffer from mom guilt, but there comes to a point where it's like if you feel like you do, where you're like, I don't want to be home full time anymore. Sometimes it's better to step out, because then when we are home, we're so much better with our kids. Yes. So if somebody's struggling with like, they feel that guilt, if I do get a nanny, that makes me not a good mom, is what people will feel. And that's not true. So how did you get over that?
I think, so the nanny's just there to help you with watching them, right? And you're not going to stop being their mom. Yeah. You're always going to be their mom. And, there's going to be the times of the day where you're still going to be with them. They're not going to be there 24 hours, right? You still get your snuggles in. You're still going to be able to like get in a couple feedings and diaper changes. And you just have to prioritize that, your family is still going to take precedence, even if you're going to step out during the day to finally get work done.
Yeah. So, I think that's great advice. Yeah. So I want to ask you a question. When you've built your business, what has been your like main lead source?
I used to do open houses and love them.
Okay. Give us your tips.
Lots of signs. And I would go out with that long drill bit and put all those signs in the ground myself. Recently, in the recent years, I started outsourcing it to like open house helping companies, because I'm like, there's better, what's the word? Use of my time. Yeah. So, but yeah, just the little things like that. I would love it. Putting out the social media, like posts about open houses and door knocking and all of that. So I used to do a lot of open houses. Social media was also a focal point for me. Have I not been posting regularly? Absolutely, because I just don't have the mental capacity right now to do it. Yeah. But I used to post very regularly about my business a lot. And that's definitely taken a hit right now. Yeah. So
your routine changed.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I definitely want to I have a good following on social media, so I want to use that to help other people out in terms of motherhood and real estate, or if you're just a mom and having to juggle a career, an entrepreneur or whatever. Yeah. And then like the infertility and being an entrepreneur also is like something that I want to use that like following to, I guess, bring light to what's going on with a lot of women.
Yeah. So tell us what is going on.
The statistic used to be 1 in 8 women are, going through, or 1 in 8 couples go through infertility challenges. And now it's 1 in 6. And it says something when Elon Musk kind of brings it up too, right? So it's definitely challenging, and not a lot of people talk about it or bring it up. And it's hurtful. So what helped me the most is actually talking about it. And talking about it with people that I knew were going through similar situations. And I connected with random people because of that. Like, people have messaged me and they're like, hey, you posted this and this on Instagram. I'm just curious, like, about how you did this or how you managed it. And they were like on that outside of my circle, right? Like, people I barely had met or knew, and like now we're like really good friends.
I love that. So. Well, and I think that sometimes people, especially like, like my mom's generation, or certain people make you feel bad about like opening up about that stuff. Like, we talk a lot on the podcast about having postpartum depression, because the more you talk about it, it's therapy for you. And then it is like, you'll notice so many other people are going through that. And for them to be able to have an outlet and feel comfortable and safe to talk to you about it is so important.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah. And it's scary because you don't want to put your business out there, right? And you want some privacy, but at the same time, I've found that it's more helpful to other people and to myself. So I'm just going to continue doing that. And I don't post a ton about it, but if I see something that somebody else has posted, I'll share it. And there's constantly conversations about it going on in my direct messages. So yeah.
All right. I love this. You've been so great today. And I want to end with a question on, is there anyone that like you really look up to that, I always love I love the saying of when you're always like have one arm reaching forward and one arm reaching back. Like, you're always trying to like look up to somebody, and you're also always trying to mentor somebody. So who is the person that you look up to?
Oh gosh.
They don't have to be a celebrity. They can be whoever you want it to be.
I would say, honestly, right now it's like my husband's like my role model.
Aww.
And it's crazy because he is able to juggle so much.
Yeah.
And I look at him and I'm like, wow, like his time management skills are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Cause he's a very present dad.
Yeah.
So that's what I aim to do is like, once we get that nanny person in, I aim to be like him as far as like time management goes, and like getting all of his work done and supporting our family at the same time. So
I love that. I want to hear how he does it.
I know.
I hear from everybody about time management, and I feel like people actually ask me a lot, and I'm pretty like good at it, but you can always be better. And I feel like right now, and I know it's because it's summer and my kids are bored out of we're at the end of summer, so everyone's like bored out of their mind, and I feel like my normal routine needs to get back because my time
you're ready for
everywhere.
them to go back to school.
Oh my gosh, it's just such a shit show every day. Right now I'll like wake up and I'll it's like 5 a.m. and I'm like, I don't even know where they're going, and I have to be somewhere by 8. Like, that is literally where I'm at because I forgot the day before, and it's all over the place, but we manage. And I know you're big on this. I think that this is one more good point I want to bring up before we hop off is you have a good community that helps you. Like, you have in-laws, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and like whether it's like family or friends, like people will help you. It's so hard for us as women to ask, but they want you to ask because they also need those people. Yeah. And so to be there for each other is so important.
Yeah. I think you have to, I'm kind of stubborn about it. I was stubborn about accepting help. But one of the biggest pieces of advice that people were posting in like the twin support groups is accept the help and take it. And it's easy to say like, oh no, I want things done this way and I'm going to be the best mom and do it myself. And you could do it. Yeah. But to take the help, you need it for yourself, for your own mental, sanity. Yeah. I'd say.
When they say it takes a tribe, it does. It 100% does. Yeah. So get yourself a tribe. Yeah. You don't have one. Well, thank you so much for coming on today.
It was very easy to do this. Yes. So thank you for my first real podcast experience.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Yes.
Hi, it's Barbara with your tax coach, and we love helping entrepreneurs save money on their taxes. Here's a quick tax tip. If you're a W-2 employee, it's probably better to have an Airbnb investment property than a long-term rental because Airbnbs qualify as active income. And if you have losses, you can take your active losses against your W-2 income, and it can actually help lower your taxes. For more info, follow us on Instagram at Your Tax Coach or go to our website, yourtaxcoach.com.